From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Step right up to see a show where some young people in Anaconda are delivering a really important message.
Celebrating Memorial Day with the U.S. Fleet Force Band. How this group of sailors brings lively spirit to those at home and around the world.
You will love that story,
It's
you
awesome,
guys.
yeah.
It is so much fun. But looking outside today,
Not as much
that doesn't
fun, huh?
look too fun out there, Matt.
Air quality, it stinks.
It makes
Yeah.
my eyes hurt just
It,
looking
it
at
really
that.
does. And again, we've talked about it. It's too early.
Yeah.
It seems
It is.
way too early.
Right.
We were talking about, I don't remember it being this bad this early.
Nope.
I think the positive is a good wind shift and a good rain. We'll probably get rid of most of this. We just have to wait for it. Air quality position sitting in Helena, Butte, and Dillon sitting at unhealthy. We're sitting at moderate for Bozeman, and right now the latest update, moderate in West Yellowstone. So I guess that's our positive. We'll see this air quality kind of go up and down over the next few days, but unfortunately, a lot of the valleys, a lot of the smoke is going to stick around. It may not be quite as thick at times, but no major changes for us in the immediate future. Daytime highs expected to be into the mid-70s today, so we're looking at a typical summer-ish, late spring-ish pattern. We'll talk about how long this is going to last along with the smoke in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Right off the top, a Montana District Court has temporarily blocked a new state ban on a specific abortion procedure commonly used after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Now, yesterday morning, Judge Mike Menahan granted Planned Parenthood of Montana's temporary restraining order on the enforcement of House Bill 721. Now, HB 721 was brought forward by Republican House Speaker Matt Regier.
Now, the law specifically prohibits the use of what the medical community formally calls dilation and evacuation abortions. That procedure is a form of surgical abortion in which a fetus is removed using forceps or similar tools. It is a typical form of abortion during the second trimester of pregnancy. The law also establishes a felony charge for anyone who performs that type of abortion, requires suspending a physician or physician's assistant's medical license for at least 1 year.
And last week, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency declared the main stem of the Gallatin River water quality impaired. Now, this comes after the Montana Department of Environmental Quality submitted a proposal to the EPA that would assign the designation to the main stem, which runs from the boundary of Yellowstone National Park to the confluence of Spanish Creek.
Now, in the proposal, Montana DEQ identified excessive algae as the pollutant that is impairing recreation and aquatic life in the main stem. And after 5 consecutive years of severe and unprecedented algae blooms, research shows excess nitrogen and phosphorus can cause algal blooms, which depletes water sources and oxygens and has been shown to have adverse effects on ecosystems.
You start losing aquatic insects, you can start killing fish. We found dead fish in the South Fork. We've documented dead fish in these algae blooms.
So what does water quality impaired designation mean? Well, it could take roughly 6 years for more studies to be done to identify problem areas and solutions. In the meantime, you can help protect surface water in the Gallatin by planting native vegetation along stream banks and shoreline, limiting the use of fertilizers, picking up after pets, and scheduling regular septic maintenance.
Now focusing our attention over in Anaconda, students are making some serious points about the dangers of drugs.
Our John Amy has more on their efforts.
They're going to be rolling out the red carpet here at Anaconda's historic Washoe Theater as local students will be premiering their short films about avoiding drugs and other unhealthy behaviors.
Stay drug-free.
Teams of students in Anaconda created short public service announcement films with the theme of Celebrate Life, Live Drug-Free.
I think the project is a great idea. It helps show people that drugs are not the best option and that there are people that care.
Southwest Montana Prevention is sponsoring an Oscar-style red carpet ceremony at the Washoe Theater, in which the PSAs will be shown, followed by the winners being announced. The public is encouraged to attend.
This event is meant
to bring the community together to support positive behaviors and positive activities for the youth in Anaconda.
Students created films about the dangers of texting and driving and smoking and peer pressure.
Overall, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. It is pretty good.
We're here on the stage right now. Why don't we do a PSA together? What do you say?
Okay.
Sure. All right. Hey guys, I just got back from a Fall Out Boy concert and a lot of people were smoking cigarettes. Let's go smoke cigarettes together.
That's probably not a very good idea.
Not a good idea.
No, because you can get addicted.
You get addicted, but don't you look cool smoking?
No.
Well, then I'm not going to smoke. And scene. Well, the students' PSAs are much better than mine.
I think that they're very creative and they put effort into it, that they came up with great individual different types of videos.
The red carpet event is Friday, May 19th. It starts at 5 in the evening and it is free to the public. In Anaconda, John Amy, MTN News.
What a really great effort, and a great effort from our own John Amy.
Yep.
To give his hand.
A little better for their stuff tonight at the theater.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Well, as we first reported yesterday, Montana's governor signed a bill into law banning the popular social media app TikTok from operating within the state, but there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered.
And now some legal action to be resolved before it actually takes effect. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at what comes next.
Right now, it's still as easy as ever to pull up your phone's app store and download TikTok in Montana. The new law banning the app won't take effect until January 1st, 2024, so we're still a long way from seeing how everything will play out. Senate Bill 419 says TikTok can't operate in Montana, and app stores can't offer it for download in the state's borders. It institutes penalties of up to $10,000 a day for each violation. There will not be penalties for users. In signing the bill, Governor Greg Gianforte said he wanted to protect Montanans' personal data from being harvested by the Chinese government. The app is owned by a company headquartered in China. A TikTok spokesperson responded in a statement saying, quote, "Governor Gianforte has signed a bill that infringes on the First Amendment rights of the people of Montana by unlawfully banning TikTok, a platform that empowers hundreds of thousands of people across the state. We want to reassure Montanans that they can continue using TikTok to express themselves, earn a living, and find community as we continue working to defend the rights of our users inside and outside of Montana." TikTok also denies that the Chinese government has any direct or indirect control over the app or its parent company. The law is now set to face legal challenges. One group of TikTok users has already filed suit in federal court, claiming the bill goes beyond Montana's authority. Opponents of the ban say it's an infringement on free expression rights, and questioned how Montana can block the app at the state level. A spokesperson for Attorney General Austin Knudson's office said they will expect the affected entities to comply with the law, and they'll investigate and hold them accountable if they hear differently. They said there's already geofencing technology in use that can limit access based on location. Gianforte wanted to amend the bill so that it also applied to other apps that are collecting personal data and sharing it in countries that are designated as foreign adversaries, such as China and Russia. But the legislature adjourned before they could consider those potential amendments. On Wednesday, Gianforte directed that all of those apps can't be used on state-issued devices or on the state network. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Definitely more to follow on that story. Well, after more than 1 year, HRDC finally has enough money to finish their emergency shelter project.
MTN's Kristen Merkel was on site for the presentation of the big check.
I'm here with Paul Reichert at the Prospera Business Network, and Prospera has made a $250,000 community impact loan to the Bozeman Chamber Foundation that will be the final piece of funding needed for HRDC to finish their Homeward Point project. So Paul, tell me about this Homeward Point project and why are you guys supporting it?
So the funding has really helped them to get to the finish line faster, and it's a partnership between the Bozeman Chamber and HRDC to do a community impact loan, and by doing that they're able to close the gap on the final funding they need to finish the project. And one of the key aspects of the project that's extremely important to the business community is the emergency housing and the other services that HRDC provides. So it's a really good feeling to be able to kind of get it over the finish line quicker.
And where did the funding for this loan come from?
The funds are from the City of Bozeman's revolving loan fund, and the repayment of those funds, when that loan's repaid, go back into the community to help more businesses and more community impact.
And how does it feel to make such an impact with a loan like this?
It feels great. It's probably the first time we really used the loan fund in this way, and that's why I think it's really newsworthy that we're doing community impact investing with the funds.
Prospera, HRDC, and Chamber members gathered today for a check ceremony to celebrate this final piece of funding. In Bozeman, Kristen Merkel, MTN News.
Thank you very much for that, Kristen. Now, when most people think of the Navy, they think of working on massive aircraft carriers and weapons systems, but there are many other jobs available to sailors.
Now, if you're cooking, you can become a culinary specialist. If you like music, you can become a musical ambassador in the U.S. Fleet Forces Band.
Serving through symphony.
I think everyone would agree that we feel incredibly fortunate to be able to do what we do. Somewhere along the line we encountered somebody that knew about this opportunity to actually serve our country in the military as musicians.
The trombones and saxophones replacing the more traditional military gear.
Whenever the leapfrog skydivers or the Blue Angels will visit a town, oftentimes we'll accompany them and play concerts.
I haven't heard any of the bands before, so it was a lot of fun, yeah.
They don't just play in the United States. The tunes take them around the world.
We try to pick repertoire that's appropriate for entertaining sailors, because we do that, but we also pick music where we can honor veterans. We play a lot of patriotic music to honor our veterans.
I'm not sure why,
1, 2. It's as simple as that.
but they gave me a drumstick to try out the tunes. Let's just say I'll be leaving the music to the professionals and those aspiring to join. It's not just the military classics either. Sometimes it's a little rock and roll.
And it's just getting more and more competitive. You know, every music school across the country is cranking out amazing musicians, so we put a lot of care and effort into our work. I love getting to do this. I mean, I get to play the guitar for thousands of people in situations I probably never would otherwise have the opportunity to.
I just think that is so cool.
Just another proof that music is truly the international language. I love that.
It's true.
So cool.
I mean, just bringing joy everywhere. A little pep in your step.
It is a unifying force, no question about it.
That's the truth.
Keep playing.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Me too. Time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning.